Community medicine is a science and art of promoting health, preventing diseases, and prolonging life by range of interventions, that is promotive, preventive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative, in close partnership or association with healthcare delivery system and with active community participation and intersectoral coordination. Epidemiology is defined as the study of distribution and determinants of health related states or events in a specified population and the application of this study to the control of health problem. Sanitary waste refers to those waste comprising of used diapers, napkins, tampons, condoms, incontinence sheets, sanitary towels, and any other similar waste. WHO definition of health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Food is defined as any article used as a food or drink for human consumption other than drugs and water and includes any article which is used for the preparation or is part of the composition of human food, flavoring matter or condiments, and any article which the central government may notify in the official gazette as food. A balanced diet is defined as one which contains a variety of foods in such quantities and proportions that the need for energy, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients is adequately met for maintaining health, vitality, and general well-being, and also makes a small provision for extra nutrients to withstand a short duration of leanness. Statistics is defined as a method of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting the numerical data. Physical activity is defined as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. Exercise is defined as specifically planned, structured, repetitive, and aims to improve or maintain one or more components of physical fitness. Sociology deals with the development, structure, functioning, and interaction as well as collective behavior of human society. Medical sociology is the study of effects of social and cultural factors on health and medicine. Social medicine deals with the person and endeavors to study him in relation to his social environment, while public health is focused on the environment. Public health deals with housing, safe water, and sanitation, and social medicine deals with the economic, nutrition, occupation, education, psychological status of the individual or the community. Public health mainly deals with communicable diseases, but social medicine has a broader scope to include non-communicable diseases, mental health, and injuries. Public health work applies the findings of the social medicine to improving the services and health of populations. Social medicine is often said to be made up of social epidemiology, social psychology, medical geography, medical sociology, and health economics. In some places, it is considered the academic arm of public health, while others have called it the bridge between medicine and public health. Social science deals with the study of society and the way people relate to each other and the group. Community is a sociological unit in which group of people live in the same place for satisfying their day-to-day needs or have a characteristic or interest in common. A society is a group of people involved in persistent social interaction living in a definable community, typically subject to the same political authority and sharing a common culture. A group of people living in the same house and sharing the kitchen is called a household. A family differs from household in that all the members in the household may not be related by blood, whereas family refers to a group of individuals who are tied by kinship, related by blood, adoption, or marriage, and share the same kitchen and common purse. Problem families are troubled families who lag behind the rest of the community. There are usually many children who may be feeble minded, quality of life is lower than expected, and parents are unable to meet the physical and emotional needs of their children. Health promotion can be defined as the process of empowering people to adopt healthy lifestyles and be able to control their own behavior and manage their own health by education, counseling, and support mechanisms. Overcrowding refers to the situation in which more people are living within a single dwelling than there is space for, so that movement is restricted, privacy secluded, hygiene impossible, rest and sleep difficult. Minimum space for one adult person is 50 square feet. Maternal death is defined as the death of the woman while pregnant or within 42 days of termination of pregnancy, irrespective of the duration and site of pregnancy, from any cause related to or aggravated by the pregnancy or its management, but not from accidental or incidental causes. Food rich in protein. First is soya bean, then skimmed milk powder, dried yeast, meat, fish, fenugreek seed or lentil, field beans or cheese, black gram or green gram, cashew nut and almond. Food sources that are rich in fat. Cooking oil, ghee, butter, dry coconut or coconut milk, almond, cashew nut, groundnut, sunflower seed, gingerly seed and niger seed. Food sources that are rich in carbohydrates. Sugar, jaggery, sago, arrowroot flour or tapioca chips, honey or rice, parboiled, milled rice, raw rice, rice flake, dried dates, ragi, jowar, wheat, raisins, barley, turmeric, tamarind pulp, field beans dry, and Bengal gram. Top sources of total saturated fatty acids. First is coconut oil, followed by butter, ghee, beef or mutton fat, pig fat, palm oil, rice bran oil, groundnut oil, olive oil, soya bean or gingerly oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, mustard oil, and safflower oil. All these saturated fatty acids are harmful to health. We will see what are the food items that are rich in polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are actually good for health. So the food items which are rich in PUFA, that is polyunsaturated fatty acid, is safflower oil, sunflower oil, soya bean oil, corn oil and gingerly oil. Following it we can say rice bran oil, mustard oil, groundnut oil and all. But the top three remains sunflower, safflower and soya bean oil. We'll see what are the food items that are rich in cholesterol. So the foodstuffs which are rich in cholesterol include brain, kidney, egg yellow, liver, mutton, ghee, butter, cheese, chicken skinless or mutton, fish, ice cream, milk and paneer. The top food items that are rich in total dietary fiber includes fenugreek, cinnamon, coriander, omum and aniseeds. The other sources include dry pepper, clove, poppy seeds, cumin seeds, Bengal gram, soya bean, cardamom, red gram, turmeric, black gram, gingerly seeds, fresh coconut and peas green. Please note the rich sources of total dietary fibers are fenugreek, cinnamon, coriander, omum and aniseeds. Top food sources which are rich in vitamin B12. Liver, that is sheep liver and goat liver, shrimp fish, egg yolk, egg, sheep meat, whole milk powder, skimmed milk powder, milk, curd and human milk. All these are rich sources of vitamin B12. What are the food sources that are rich in vitamin C? Amla, drumstick leaves, drumstick, guava, turnip green, cashew fruit, amaranth, capsicum, coriander leaves, green chilies, bitter gourd, lime, cauliflower, dry chilies and spinach. All are rich source of vitamin C. What are the top sources of vitamin A, carotene? Basale leaf, which is Malabar spinach, subsige leaf, drumstick or curry leaves, sheep liver, beetle leaves, mango, carrot, orange, fenugreek leaves, black pepper and butter are rich sources of vitamin A. What are the rich sources of calcium? Bagon fish dried, jaggery, skimmed milk powder, poppy seed, gingerly seed, ginger and amaranth are rich sources of calcium. I repeat, bagon fish dried, jaggery, skimmed milk powder, amaranth, poppy seeds, gingerly seeds and ginger are some of the rich sources of calcium. What are the top sources of iron? Turmeric, niger, chingri fish, cauliflower, amaranth, rice bran, gooseberry, Bengal gram, sundakai, crab mussel, soya bean, rice flakes and sunseed are the top sources of iron. I repeat, the top sources of iron include turmeric, niger, chingri fish, cauliflower, amaranth, rice bran, rice flake, gooseberry, Bengal gram, sundakai and soya bean. According to Alma Ata Declaration, health education is defined as the process aimed at encouraging people to want to be healthy, to know how to stay healthy, to do what they can individually and collectively do to maintain health, and to seek help when needed. According to International Labour Organization and World Health Organization, occupational health aims at the promotion and maintenance of highest degree of physical, mental and social well-being of workers in all occupations. According to WHO, occupational disease is any disease contracted primarily as a result of exposure to risk factors arising from work activity. Health information system is defined as a mechanism for collection, processing, analysis, and transmission of information required for organizing and operating health services and also for research and training. Screening is a process of searching unidentified diseases, defect, or any condition of health by means of rapidly applied simple tests, examination, or other procedures in apparently healthy looking individuals. Surveillance has been defined as the continuous scrutiny of factors that determine the occurrence and spread of disease and other conditions of ill health which are pertinent of effective control. Health planning can be defined as an orderly process of defining community health problems, identifying unmet needs, and surveying the resources to meet them, establishing priority goals that are realistic, and projecting administrative action to accomplish the purpose of proposed program. In epidemiology, rate is a measure of frequency with which an event occurs in a defined population over a specified period of time. In calculating rate, we require numerator, denominator, multiplier, and time specification. I repeat, rate is a measure of the frequency with which an event occurs in a defined population over a specified period of time. Secondary attack rate measures the number of new cases developing among susceptible within incubation period after they are exposed to primary case. I repeat, secondary attack rate measures the number of new cases developing among susceptibles within incubation period after exposed to a primary case. Secondary attack rate is equal to number of new case within the range of incubation period divided by number of susceptibles exposed to primary case into 100. Secondary attack rate is the number of new cases within the range of incubation period divided by the number of susceptible exposed to primary case into 100. Epidemic is the occurrence of a disease that is definitely greater than the expected in certain geographical region. I repeat, epidemic is the occurrence of a disease that is definitely greater than that expected in a certain geographical region. Endemic is a continuous occurrence at an expected frequency over a certain period of time and in a certain geographical location. Endemic is the continuous occurrence at an expected frequency over a certain period of time and in a certain geographical location. Holoendemic, when a high level of infection is registered beginning at a young age and predominantly affecting the young population, is holoendemic. I repeat, holoendemic, when a high level of infection is registered beginning at young age and predominantly affecting the young population. Hyperendemic, when the infection equally affects all age groups, it is called hyperendemic. Pandemic, when the epidemic is generalized and involves different countries and a large population, it is called pandemic. When an epidemic is generalized and involves different countries and large population, it is called pandemic. Outbreak, when the epidemic is restricted to a small geographical area or population, it is called outbreak. When the epidemic is restricted to a small geographical area or population, it is called outbreak. Epidemic is the occurrence of disease that is definitely greater than that expected in a certain geographical region. Basic reproductive number is the expected number of secondary cases of a disease produced directly by an average infectious individual entering an entirely susceptible population. I repeat, basic reproductive number is the expected number of secondary cases of a disease produced directly by an average infectious individual entering an entirely susceptible population. Communication can be defined as a process of transmitting information and common understanding from one person to another. Gross reproductive rate is the average number of girls that woman would have if she experiences the current fertility pattern throughout her reproductive span, assuming no mortality. Gross reproductive rate is the average number of girls that woman would have if she experiences the current fertility pattern throughout her reproductive span, assuming no mortality. Whereas net reproductive rate is defined as the average number of daughters a newborn girl will bear during her life, assuming fixed age-specific fertility and mortality rates. Total fertility rate. Total fertility rate is the average number of children a woman would have if she passes through the current fertility rates during her reproductive age. I repeat, total fertility rate is the average number of children a woman would have if she passes through the current fertility rates during her reproductive period. A person aged 7 and above who can both read and write with understanding in any language is treated as literate. Demography deals with the population size, composition, and geographical distribution and growth in a given geographical area. It also deals with their relationship with social, economic, and behavioral factors. A confounding factor is defined as one which is associated with both exposure and disease and is distributed unequally in the study and control groups. It can be independently a risk factor for the disease. I repeat, a confounding factor is defined as one which is associated with both exposure and outcome and is distributed unequally in study and control groups. It can be independently a risk factor for a disease. Epidemic is an unusual increase in the number of cases of an illness or other health-related events in a defined geographical area and defined time period. I repeat, epidemic is an unusual increase in the number of cases of an illness or other health-related events in a defined geographical area and defined time period. Secondary attack rate measures the number of new cases developing among susceptible within incubation period after they are exposed to primary case. Accident has been defined as unpremeditated event resulting in recognizable damage. Injury can be defined as physical damage that results when a human body is suddenly or briefly subjected to intolerable levels of energy. Monitoring is an ongoing function where data is collected on specified indicators to provide managers of an ongoing program with indications of the extent of progress, achievement of objectives, and use of resources. I repeat, monitoring is an ongoing function where data is collected on specified indicators to provide managers of an ongoing program with indications of the extent of progress, achievement of objectives, and use of resources. Family planning is defined as a way of thinking and living that is adopted voluntarily upon the basis of knowledge, attitude, and responsible decisions by individuals and couples in order to promote the health and welfare of the family group and thus contribute effectively to the social development of the country. Maternal death is defined as the death of a woman while pregnant or within 42 days of termination of pregnancy, irrespective of the site or duration of pregnancy, from any cause related to or aggravated by pregnancy or its management, not from accidental or incidental causes. According to International Labour Organization and World Health Organization, occupational health aims at the promotion and maintenance of highest degree of physical, mental, and social well-being of workers in all occupations. Ergonomics is the scientific study of human work and application of this scientific information to the design of objects, systems, and environments concerning human beings. Healthy workplace is a place where everyone works together to achieve an agreed vision for the health and well-being of the workers and the surrounding community. It provides all members of the workforce with physical, psychological, social, and organizational conditions that protect and promote health and safety. It enables managers and workers to increase control over their own health and improve it, and to become more energetic, positive, and contented. Bias has been defined as any systematic error in the design, conduct, or analysis of a study that results in a mistaken estimate of an exposure's effect on the risk of disease. Acute flaccid paralysis is defined as sudden onset of weakness and floppiness in any part of the body in a child less than 15 years of age, or paralysis in a person of any age in whom polio is suspected. I repeat, acute flaccid paralysis is defined as sudden onset of weakness and floppiness in any part of the body in a child less than 15 years of age, or paralysis in a person of any age in whom polio is suspected. A road traffic accident is any accident involving at least one road vehicle in motion on a public road or a private road to which the public has right of access, resulting in at least one injured or killed person. Disaster definition. Disaster is a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or a society involving widespread human, material, economic, or environmental losses and impacts which exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. Disaster management. Disaster management can be defined as systematic process of using administrative directives, organizations, and operational skills and capacities to implement strategies, policies, and improved coping capacities in order to lessen the adverse impacts of hazards and the possibility of disaster. Bioterrorism or biological warfare can be defined as intentional use of living organisms or their toxic products to cause death, disability, or disease in man, animals, or plants, or to poison food and water supplies. Primary healthcare is an essential healthcare based on practical, scientifically sound, and socially acceptable methods and technologies made universally accessible to individuals and families in the community through their full participation and at a cost that the community and country can afford to maintain at every stage of their development in the spirit of self-reliance and self-determination. Universal health coverage is defined as access to key promotive, preventive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative health interventions for all at an affordable cost, thereby achieving equity in access. Endemic is the habitual presence of disease within the given geographical area. Epidemic is defined as the occurrence in a community or region of a group of illness of similar nature, clearly in excess of normal expectancy and derived from a common or a propagated source. Herd immunity is defined as the resistance of a group of people to an attack by disease to which large proportion of the members of the group are immune.